Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Choose Positive Living right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my guest today is Anastasia. She does something rather unusual. She's dedicated to exceptional care and unforgettable experiences. How does she do that? Well, she does it through her wonderful program of Cedar silk picnics. We're going to be talking far more about that. We all want to have a special event, a moment that captures something joy in time. And this is what she's about. With over 25 years of experience in high-end spas catering to celebrity clients, she's been immersed in the world of luxury. Her passion is to work, has always been about providing exceptional care and ensuring that every client enjoys their unparalleled experience. As a self-proclaimed beach enthusiast, aka beach bar, she thrives in the great outdoors, where she can find true sense of peace and fulfillment. When she ventures out, I do it in style, prioritizing comfort without compromise on elegance. It was only a matter of time before she transformed this passion into reality for others to enjoy. She's dedicated to weaving all their interests to create a business that is true an extension of herself, by collaborating with local companies and bringing to their service the products to life by indulging her love for the outdoor luxury. And it's all about, her wonderful Cedar picnics and all the events that she's got planned for you and getaways and everything else. She says this venture is not a business, it's a calling that was meant to be. And those are the best kind of businesses, because when you get called and you really do feel, I have to do this. I love doing this. I would do this for free. Not that we want them to. That, when it's that kind of calling, you've got to follow the calling. You have to follow the calling. So welcome to the show, Han.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Now, I happen to be with you I love the outdoors. I love nature, but I like comfort. I am
Yes.
not a person that kind of gets down on the ground and rolls around. I wish I could, but right now, if I got down, I would need a crane to get me back up. So I want the comfy deck chair. I kind of, I want to enjoy nature, but a little bit of luxury. And a lot of people kind of don't associate with that. But I think we'll get people more outdoors if there was a little bit more comfort involved.
Absolutely. And this is exactly one of the reasons why I do what I do. I love the outdoors, but again, I know what luxury is, what it feels like, and I don't want to compromise.
You're right.
So basically, I just create beautiful, lavish setups so that you could be as comfortable as you can. And of course, it depends on the guest. Like yourself, like you said, you prefer to have a comfortable chair instead of being completely on the floor, even though if you're on pillows. So I have everything that is customized for every individual needs. So what makes it really fun for me, because I get bored easily. So what makes it really fun for me is that I have to think and be creative for each person who I service, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's a business or whether it's for a personal event, or just a small get together or a date proposal. Whatever it is, it's going to be unique to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really what gets me going. And then my next step is, okay, so now from there, what services can I add? What product? What food? And my passion is to combine as many local businesses, vendor, and services as I can, because I can't help myself but wanting to showcase others and
Mm-hmm.
their business. So this is why I created Cedar and Silk Picnics. So we host luxury outdoor events, and that is year round as well.
Right. Well, we'll talk about what you do in the winter, but my son got married last year, but proposed the year before, and they love hiking. And so they had been preparing for this big hike of this big mountain over, excuse me, where they live in the mainland. But all the time, he was planning the proposal. So he had already a tent at the top. And she didn't click onto any of this. She had he had his good friend who was a professional photographer. His first wedding photography was my
Oh,
other
wow.
daughter, right? So, and he happened to be there. And then they're at the top of the mountain, both with the backpacks. He takes his off, and she's looking, oh, so beautiful. And oh, somebody's playing our favorite song. What a coincidence. And it's being filmed all along the line. And he gets down on his knee and he proposes, with
That's
the beautiful
amazing.
backdrop and everything else. And of course, he's a restaurateur, so of course he had all the food and things like this. But it was a lot for him to plan, and it's up at a
Yes,
mountain as well. So for people, I would love to do that, but I wouldn't know where to start. This
exactly.
is where you're at. It's like I want to do either a proposal, or I want to do renewal or marriage, or I want to, have something that's so memorable that they'll never forget it. And you do need somebody who has that expertise. Otherwise, it becomes something so, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing, so frustrating, and then you don't enjoy the moment, right?
Exactly.
So if
It
somebody
takes
set the
away.
stage for you, you can concentrate on what that moment is going to be all about.
Exactly. That's what it is. It creates priceless and unforgettable moments with your family and friends, and you don't miss out on them because you're not planning, you're not thinking, oh, like for your son, oh, is my friend a photographer? Is he on time? Is he getting the right angle? Is
Yes.
you just let somebody else take care of all that, all the needs. All I want you to do is just show up, be, experience, have fun, and then you leave. That's
Yes.
it. As
And
simple as that.
we're in Nanaimo, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, a very beautiful place, but we do get this thing called rain, right? And you never know, when it's going to come. Of course, we've had an exceptionally hot summer going right from May to very, very recently. So
Yes.
kind of planning something outdoors, it would be more protecting you from the heat rather than the rain. But,
Yes.
you talked about you do this year round. So, you create something where there is a canopy so people can still be outdoors without kind of, being completely
So
drenched out.
when we do the bookings, I always take two different criteria. Because we have to pivot if it rains. So
Mm,
you could either still want to be outdoors in the rain, and of course, I have a tent that will be over and covering you. For me, I love the rain. I'm happy outside in the rain, so it wouldn't bother me. But for some people, they might not be comfortable with that. So that way, then what I do is you either have the choice to rebook, or we can choose an indoor area because I could
mhm.
still offer services indoor.
You still have that experience no matter what. It is about capturing the moment, right? That's what people want. They want to
Yes,
have something that you're going to remember. And
yes.
like I was talking with someone else this week that I interviewed, and she was talking about Paris, and it brought up a memory I had in Paris 50 years ago that I still hold very dear today. And
Mm.
those are the kind of memories that we want to create.
Yeah,
And no matter how the years pass, you go back, I remember that. And you
yeah.
want to set the stage where that kind of memory is going to be like that for someone. And it doesn't have to be, the perfect green fields with the
Oh,
flowers and the deer running around. It could be, as you said, inside is how do you set the ambience that sets the stage for whatever's going to happen?
how do I do that?
Hmm.
Oh, I have so many different types of decorations. I have all these beautiful types of string lights, many, many different variety. Same with beautiful candles. I have real candles and have the artificial candles, so that way everything is safe, nothing will burn. I have different types of colors. So what I do is I go thrifting. I love thrifting. So I go at the thrift shop and then I see something, so I know right away, and then I get it.
Hmm.
Either I try to refurbish and do some things, but then I'm never that great. It never turns out the way I like perfect that I want. So what I do is I have different artists that I've met through the island, and they're absolutely amazing. So they've been refurbishing all kinds of different uh, furniture, frames, you name it. I have everything you could imagine to set up, even from my crates. I get my crates done by this young kid who his mom was advertising on Facebook Marketplace. So I purchased my crate from him. I met this arborist who amazingly just cuts these beautiful pieces of wood for me, has my charcuterie board. I have many different kinds. I could use them for decoration or to serve food. He's made beautiful low picnic tables for me out of cedar. It's just
Mm.
absolutely wonderful. I have every color of linen and pillows and anything you could think about. I have it all. And what's funny is that I used to have it just for myself. That's how I would do the beach.
You
And
got to try the luxury out first.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So basically, I've been doing this for myself for years, but now I'm bringing this experience to others. So to set the scene and the mood, I've got everything you can imagine.
I'm just thinking about somebody who sells packages for people to come to Vancouver Island. And when they kind of get to Nanaimo, one of the packages they can buy is a wonderful picnic in a beautiful scenic area. And then it
Absolutely.
becomes kind of a highlight of the trip because there's many highlights you can have in Vancouver Island, just
Yes.
utterly beautiful. But having one that something that's been specially set up for you, that it's not just part of everybody else. And you kind of, that becomes a memory that you want to take home with you.
Absolutely. And I recently did a picnic at the Kingfisher for this husband who was surprising his wife on her birthday. And they had
Mm,
their two little children with them that day. It was really, really cute. It was beautifully done. And that's what they told me at the Kingfisher. They're happy to, let know their reservation team
mhm.
to let their guests know if they want to upgrade their
Yes.
stay by all means, they're happy to recommend my services. But what's good also is that I'm part of the Skull Club in Vancouver. So this is a club that is for people in hospitality and
Mm,
tourism. So I'm on the board in Vancouver, and that way I get to have an inside of
mm.
connections directly
Yes.
to people that run hotels and different facility and different areas in tourism. So that's really helpful. So I'm building connections that way. We meet once a month. And of course, I've told them all about my business the last time we've met.
Mhm.
So I'm really, really excited to expand on the side for tourism as well. Because as you mentioned, Vancouver Island it's priceless. It is so beautiful here.
Yes.
So to be able to offer my services to the island, I'm really, really excited.
We're in a beautiful time period of fall, right? And I love fall because it's, not quite kind of bitter cold yet, but it's still kind of got that nice fall tree. It's just that beautiful change of seasons and a
Yes,
little Halloween and themes like that you can go about. And just let every season has something that we love about it. Around the Christmas time, you've got a Christmas theme. Well, kind of cool to have a Christmas picnic,
yes,
outside. And if there's snow, even better, but we don't get an
absolutely.
awful lot of it. But just tapping into the seasons can really allow for even more creativity, can't it?
Absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned this because one of my bigger events will be farm to table.
Mm,
And this is part of the name is the taste of the seasons because we're
mm.
going to be having a different meal with a different chef every time, but then we'll go with the season and see what's happening with the crop on different farms, and then they'll be doing a dinner accordingly. So I look forward to that. I love food.
My son does that with his restaurant in Maple Ridge
Yes,
in Vancouver. So it's farm to table, and he uses local farmeries for his sauces. All
exactly.
right. And it does make people feel I'm supporting local, I'm
Yes,
supporting community. I know where this has come from. All
yes,
right. And there's something in knowing that kind of changes the taste of things, right?
yes.
Because
It makes
kind of
it taste better.
it's like more wholesome. It's not kind of come from the States or somewhere else, and it's not
Exactly.
generic. It's kind of more personal. And I think that kind of sticks with us more, even more.
Yes, and we appreciate it more.
Mm,
We know that it's from here. We know who farmed it, who
mhm.
collected it, and now who's cooking it. And there's something special about it.
Yeah, most certainly. And I think that's everything that we need in life. I don't think we allow for special moments. It's like it I don't know if we've got out of that. I mean, I always brought my kids up with every birthday is very special, and then Christmas and Thanksgiving and everything. And my son's
Yeah.
taken that over, and my daughter's taken that over. And this week that this airs, I would have just turned 71. And on my birthday, my son and his wife and my other daughter, and unbeknownst to my daughter, a couple of other friends are coming over and we're doing baby shower, my birthday, my son's birthday, which is at the end of October, and Thanksgiving all in one day. So it's going to be crazy. We're kind of
Yeah.
celebrating everything at once,
Yes.
but it's okay, right? Because
Absolutely.
it's what we make out of it. And I think
Yes.
that's the thing is that when we look for, I want it to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, it's going to shatter everything. I think sometimes it's those little things that happen, right? Like you've got a perfect picnic and the wind picks up and your hat
Yeah.
blows up. Stop worrying about perfection and look at that as a perfect memory as your hat went flying off down the mountain, right? So
Exactly.
it's what we make out of it. But it is all about that stage setting. What happens on that stage is what happens on that stage. But when the stage is set, it kind of just makes that memory just even more so.
Exactly. I had a picnic for my daughter's birthday this June. And I decided to start this company in May. So it has only been 5 months. So in June, I had everything beautiful for her. The theme was strawberries because she loves strawberries. I had all these beautiful candy in jars. And it was gorgeous. And we did it at the Westwood RV Lake, the
Hmm.
RV park.
Yes.
I rented the cabin there. They have a cabin called the cottage, the cottage, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I rented that cabin so that it would make my life easier to go back and forth to the beach with everything I had to
Mm.
bring. And of course, we were there for 4 days. And of course, the day of the birthday, it rained.
Of
Of
course.
course. So I was not able to do all of my beautiful picture in the sun with the beautiful candies
Mhm.
and strawberries and everything that I had involved. But then again, I pivoted and we did it indoors and then we had our private backyard. So we barbecued some hot dogs out there.
Mm.
We made it happen. The kids had a blast. They were in the rain in their bathing suit
Yes.
running around. So again, the experience was wonderful. It's just that I think in this day and age, everybody is just obsessed with
Mm.
instant. With
Yes.
texting, social
Yes.
media, the
Mm.
picture,
Mm.
they kind of forget what you're supposed to be doing, which is sitting
Enjoying.
down, enjoying,
Mm.
breathing, and just going with the flow. You have to
Yeah.
learn how to let go just a little bit. It's easy to
Yes.
say, but it's so hard to do. And I think this is what's missing. So by providing these services, I hope that other people will be able to take that in a little bit more because they
Yeah.
don't have to be the ones worrying. All they have to worry is make sure that they're having good conversation with their friends and family and their loved
Mm.
ones, right? So,
Yeah, my daughter got married at the Cedary here on the island, and the Cedar Farm, and it was the 27th of October. Oh no, yeah, 27th of October, and so of course we managed to get, and it was just kind of a mud path taking her around up to,
yes.
and my ex-husband and I walked her down the aisle, and there was a canopy where they actually got married, but straight after they got married, it just downpoured. Well, that didn't stop them taking pictures.
Of
There they
course
were out
not.
with these umbrellas, and then one of the pictures that I had blown up for her and put in a frame that was made out of an old barn, because I thought
Oh,
it was very apropos for them, um, was then with kind of the umbrella in the pouring rain. And it just captured the kind of the moment.
I
And
love
I think
that.
that's it. Is like you could cry and have a tantrum. What are you going to do about it? Or you can sing in the rain, and,
Exactly.
and make it a different form of memory. And I think this is where we watch TV where, oh, that's perfect, or this is that, that's that. And that's not reality because what you're seeing is the perfect moments. You're not seeing the chaos or everything else that's
Exactly.
happening, right? So we've got to understand it's the moment that we're capturing, right? And go into it with this is my intent of capturing a certain moment, how it's going to happen. Well, the stage is set, but whatever else is going to happen, we just have to deal with when we deal with it, right?
Exactly. See, I've worked in the spa industry for over 25 years. So
Mhm,
for you, if you come into the spa, oh, it's beautiful. It's so
mhm.
relaxing. It's
Yes.
inviting. I see a spa, that is not what I think.
Yes.
Right? My perception of looking at the spa is like, wow,
Mm.
all the effort that is
Yes.
made in the back
Hmm.
to make your experience and your stay just serene and peaceful, and but that's not what it is. So exactly. So it's never just what we see. It's what happens behind that makes it all happen to have that beautiful picture and just
And this is why you need to have somebody in charge that's level-headed.
yes.
My son got married on top of Grouse Mountain uh, in August with 33 degrees out there. And so they're getting married actually outside, and then we're going inside for the reception. But it was like so hot, and I don't do well in the heat. And
Hmm.
everybody's in suits and things like that,
Yeah.
right? And he's on crutches because he's just smashed his foot up completely. So, they kind of threw out some things that they wanted to do at the wedding. So he's
Yeah.
on crutches on the wedding, and it's like they were delayed because they were late serving the food for the lunch thing, and they were delayed in turning things over, and everybody, can we go inside yet?
Yes.
Or the makeup is melting, all
Oh,
of that.
yes,
But in
absolutely.
the end, it was watching two people come together with the union. And then at night, of course, when the sun had gone down and the moon was up in the sky and everybody's outside dancing, they had his bride, Jess's grandmother, who was 90, they actually had to take her off the floor.
Oh,
She was
wow.
dancing away like crazy the
I
whole
mean,
night,
relax.
and it's like, time to go home, Nona. And then just one more dance, And it's just, it's again what you make out of it. What do
Yes.
you make out of it? But if the setting is there and somebody like, okay, there's a problem. I don't need to tell them about it. I need to do something. Oh, I do need to tell them because we have to pivot. But how you present it will be how panicked they're going to get about
Yes.
it, right?
Same when a baby falls, you don't say, oh no, say,
Yes.
uh-oh,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
oh, boom.
You say, oh no, it's wow. Go, uh-oh. And I go, oh, okay,
Exactly.
I'll get up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, fine.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's our reaction to things. And I think, again, anybody planning something, don't be so uptight of how you want it to go. It's enjoy the moment and all those unexpected things that actually
Yeah,
make the moment even more. But if the stage has been set, that's one thing you didn't have to think about. You want to have a wonderful setting, whether it's an engagement, a birthday, anniversary, a celebration of someone's life.
absolutely.
I think we see it a lot of people having celebration of life of someone's passing outside, right?
Yes,
And I think to actually have kind of then the picnic and everything else happen well
yes,
outside there, allows people to celebrate the life. You can all grieve privately, but to celebrate the life and come together in celebration of what that life meant to you, each
yes,
other. And you're not having to go somewhere and it's not dark and miserable. It's outside and you can enjoy it. There's so many ways you can celebrate.
absolutely. And so many people just feel so grounded when you're
Mm. Y-
outdoors.
Yes.
Just there's something special about it. It's just I don't know how to put it into words, but for me, if I could sleep outside every day, I would. I love it so much. I used
That's
to
my
live at
grandson
Kids
trying to get him
Point.
inside. Yeah.
Exactly. I used to live at Kids Point in Vancouver, and
Mm,
I'd sleep on the beach sometimes. I wouldn't
mhm.
even cross the street to go home. I wanted to stay because again, I have it all beautiful and comfortable.
Right,
So
exactly,
all my
exactly.
pillows, we'd even sometimes bring a mini barbecue. So I just absolutely
Yeah.
love being outdoors. So
Well, when
yeah.
you think about it and you look back into the past, people lived outdoors more than they lived in,
Hmm.
right? And people weathered the weather, all right,
Yes.
accordingly. And so we've become a little bit sissy over the years
Yes.
of, oh gosh, it's raining, I gotta go
I
inside,
know.
and it's like, well, put up an umbrella if you don't want to get wet. You know? And especially in BC, it's gonna rain here. That's why everything's so
Exactly.
beautifully green. you know.
Yes.
So I think it's like pivot,
Yeah.
pivot without, worrying about things and, creating sometimes you don't need to have anything special just to have an event. right?
It
I mean, I always
absolutely,
had a summer party for my kids, where they had all their friends over and it was just fun and
yes.
paddle pools and things like that. And not everybody nowadays has the garden to do it in because
Yeah,
people live in
absolutely.
apartments or townhouses or whatever. And, to have an area where you can just be a mum enjoying the kids and what they're doing, and it's all being taken care of you for you,
Yes,
and that you can just have a good time without oh, I forgot this, I forgot that, oh my God, that, oh my God, that, and then screaming at the kids because you're
right?
all stressed out. So
Exactly.
we don't want that. We want somebody else in charge so you can enjoy it.
I even have one of my packages is for one person by
Hmm.
themselves.
Yeah.
I have the sage, I have the Palo
Mm,
Santo,
mm,
I have books, but you could bring your own books. I have it set up so that you could just go and have some time to reflect
mm.
and just be comfortable in a beautiful setting. And it's like you're taking yourself out on a date.
Yes.
Because why
Yes.
not? You work
Yes.
hard, you
Yes.
deserve it. So if you
Mhm.
don't have a significant other who's, there to take you out, or if you have one and he's not taking you out,
Yes. Take yourself out. Yes.
exactly. It's just how do you want to spend your time? What do you want to
Mm,
do? Just if you value yourself and you just want to have some time for you, I think it's a wonderful gift. It's like going to the spa, right? You just do
yeah.
something for you.
I will say to people what we need to give is time and space. We
Mm,
need to give ourselves time and space where we
yes,
shut everything else off, that we learn to in tune and go in. Because
yes,
everything is an inside out job. It's not an outside, outside in, it's inside out. And if we're in a space where we feel a little bit of that pampering, I've got you, even if
yes,
it's a rainy day under a big umbrella with a blanket over you,
yes,
flask full of hot chocolate and a good book,
yes,
it's like this is my time and space. I'm being looked after. And how many
yes.
people, especially people who are always the caregivers, when do they get taken care of?
Never.
And a moment like this is your moment. Don't
Yes.
worry, I've got you. You don't have to worry anything. This this is your space.
A little hug for your soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and I think people need to do more of that because we don't do enough of it. Now, of course, you've got some other things planned other than just picnics, etc. So you've
I
got things in
do.
the works. So share a little bit about that.
I'm so excited. I can't wait for the website to be ready so that I could share with everybody. So I have retreats happening. I'm gonna do the coastal white soiree, which is
Hmm.
gonna be a very elegant and elaborate event with all different types of immersive activities and just all your senses are going to be stimulated during this
Hmm.
event. I plan to do it annually. There'll be the similar type of event also during the winter because there's something about the outdoors
Mm.
and the winter that I just absolutely love. And
Hmm.
people are going to be like, well, how do you make this happen? But I will make it in a way that is extremely special and that you will be comfortable. You won't be freezing the whole time.
Right,
I,
exactly.
I will make it special. We have night markets for Christmas. We
Exactly.
still go.
Yes.
So I could throw on a luxury event and a beautiful, outdoors events during winter without a problem. So all these events, there's probably around six major ones. And I'm working on it right now, finding my right collaboration. I need all different type of different artists, different people in the service industry. And again, this is what makes me happy because I'm being of service to others while I do it.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just like
You've
the
been
puppet
inclusive.
master doing
Mm.
this,
Mm.
putting everything in place, but I'm going to showcase all of the talent. It's all going to be them together that will make this event possible. And that's what excites me.
When somebody's trying to sell a house, especially a new house, they have staging done.
Yes.
Right, and that staging can sell a house because the people don't always have the imagination. Well, I don't know, can you get a couch TV? Where will it go? When it's staged, you can see how much room you've got. Even
Yeah.
if you don't use the same position of the furniture, you've got an idea because it gives you that, and it sells the house because it creates an ambience. And as I keep going back to the word staging, that's what you're doing. You're staging,
Yes.
you know that where people can come in and whatever it is, outdoors, indoors, whatever the case is, feel at home.
Yes. Absolutely. I want to create, I love making people happy.
Mm,
And I've always been like this through everything I've done in life. Always want to set elaborate events and birthday parties, surprise party. I've always been the one trying to get everything going. So
yes.
I've volunteered so much in my years. I volunteer to as many events as I can. I love it so much because each time I go and volunteer, I learn something more. I make new connections because I love networking. So even I've already applied to be of service and volunteer for, I believe it's February or April in Vancouver for the Pitch for the Purse. That's a
Mm,
really, really cool event for the Forum of Women's Enterprise
hmm
in Vancouver. And I just absolutely love that event. I'm usually a VIP concierge for
mm,
tables, and
hmm
I do, I think, about three tables at a time. And oh, it's just absolutely wonderful.
You see, not everybody's wired that way. When I had the family in the big house, I was the one that had the parties.
Yes,
I'd be the one, even if it's a potluck, I'd overcook to make sure I had, more than
yes,
necessary. I'd be the one arranging everything. My ex-husband was the 4th of July. My best friend at the time was the 4th of July. So we used to do a double party and always make it a theme,
yeah,
right? And just, have fun. And, said to me, why don't you have me back? Oh, we can't do it like you, Sarah. So we're not going to do it at all. And I'd like love to be invited back to something instead of, well, Sarah will do it. Of course, I don't have that home anymore. I don't have that kind of lifestyle anymore. I
yeah,
also don't have the same inclination to want to do it anymore. Been there,
mm,
done that. I refer to let somebody else do it for me. I'm at
yes,
that stage where I want to just turn up, right?
yes,
So, you either have that way where you can, as I quote, set the stage and have everything there ready for people just to immerse themselves into the joy in each other, or you don't, or you just don't want to anymore,
yeah,
or you
exactly.
don't have the time to, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And this is where you
And
need somebody else that's going to do it for you.
you do, especially if it's something where you want to be able to enjoy time
Hmm.
with your loved ones. If not,
Yes.
if it's you're working.
Oh, I know. The only
If-
time I would sit down and relax is when everybody had coffee.
And you're working before because you're
Oh,
prepping,
yes.
and you're working
Days.
after because you're cleaning.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not fun,
And
right?
you can't really enjoy yourself because it's like, have they got this? Have they got this? Have they got that? Is everybody okay? Oh, now I can sit down and relax. And
Exactly.
then it's time to go home now.
Yeah, you need a week vacation from that.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So I know how much work it is, and not everybody. And you've got working parents. My daughter's on maternity leave now, but she was working. Husband's working. He's got two jobs. They're about to have the
Yes.
third kid. Trying to plan anything, it's a lot of work. All right, so um, and not everybody has that kind of ability or time or anything else, but they still want to do something special, whether it's a birthday, whether it's, sometimes you don't need to have a reason for an event. I
Okay.
just want a gathering, a
Yeah.
gathering. And, as you talked about the winter, setting up a fire pit,
Mhm.
out in a lovely field with a great view, everybody in their parkas, your boots if it's raining, or maybe
Beautiful.
you've got the canopy up, and then, roasting the marshmallows, or you're having, some appropriate food around the fire and the hot toddies and things like this. There is something about that. You
Yeah.
kind of warm and stuck. You're warm and stuck because of the clothing you're wearing. The fire is the invitation of
Yes.
kind of the glow and the warmth. But then the conversations around that fire pit really are wonderful. But does everybody want to set that up or have the equipment to set that up?
Yeah, exactly. I even have games for my
Mm.
events. Like right now I'm staring. I have these big gigantic dice. They're made from an artist in Shermanus. She makes
Mm.
them. It's to play Yahtzee.
Aha.
And they're just absolutely beautiful. So I have all these types of games that you can do with your family as well. And
Hmm.
so there's a lot that goes into setting those picnics up for beautiful experiences for people to enjoy together.
Yeah, you see, not everybody kind of thing. Maybe when I grew up, picnics were a big thing. right? My mum had a wonderful wicker picnic basket and all the proper plates and everything else that
Yeah.
went with it, and make the food all packed up, and off we'd go for a picnic. And it was something we grew up on,
Yes.
right? The checkered tablecloth, the whole
Yeah.
works. Um, and then I don't know, it seemed to kind of go out of fashion, picnicking. You didn't see too many people doing it, or turning it over to portable barbecue, right?
Yes.
And it's like, I think that especially if you have a family and you're all working and you need some downtime, having this type of thing is just good
Yes.
for the soul, you know?
Absolutely. It gives everybody a break.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Exactly. So the big events coming up in 2026, and
Yes.
obviously there'll be more about that later on. But
Yes.
whether, as you said, whether it's one or 100, you can cover anybody from whatever scale there. There are an awful lot of organizations, especially here on Vancouver Island. There's a lot of people in Vancouver or other areas that are taking their team over to Vancouver Island
Yes.
and having a retreat, where it's kind of retreat, part business, part brain thing, and then having something set up like this, no matter what the weather is. It's
Yeah.
kind of appreciation to the team, appreciation to the people that work for you or work with you, and at the same time something unusual,
Yes.
right? They will go home and talk about that because it's different to then kind of the sit down stuffy dinner of chicken. You know, it's something. We've got so much beautiful nature here.
Do
That's your backdrop, right? For you
absolutely
to set the
do.
stage on. So why would you want to do something inside closed doors? You want to do something that embraces the outside if you can.
Yes. As much as I can, that's the plan. Yes.
And of course, we've also got some great places that have, beautifully wooden huts and things like that, you can, if people are wanting kind of that aesthetic, that is there. So there's a lot of areas that kind of rent out space and things that
Oh
are,
yeah.
other people can come in and do things. You're not limited by that. And the fact that you're working with so many, artisans and people around that, there is the encouragement from their side, to what you can do, because it is your communitying with all
Yes,
the community being a part of it.
exactly.
And that means when people are eating or they're at a place, they know the whole community has participated, and it just makes the experience even more so. And hopefully they go home and think about duplicating community wherever they are.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about supporting each other and celebrating each other.
Have you, you talk about the soiree. Describe what the soiree is.
So it's gonna start in the afternoon and it's gonna be there's so many moving parts to it. So once you
Generalized.
purchase your ticket, I'll have general admission and I'll have VIP.
Hmm.
A general admission, everybody will have like there's going to be a buffet where you can go and serve yourself, but for the VIP, they will have the server come to their table and serve them the dinner. Right now, I'm looking for, I've just got connected with a few different people here. I want to have a show happening, so a little theater show
Hmm.
happening while people are sitting down to have the dinner. But once you come in, there's going to be, of course, photo booths area. There's going to be games. There's going to be all kinds of different activities going on, um, different events within the event
Hmm.
happening.
Yes.
And that's going to be everybody's dressed in white because it's the white soiree.
Hmm.
Like in Vancouver or anywhere else, they have the white party. But the white party is everybody shows up, but you bring your own food, you bring your
Yeah.
table, you bring everything. For me, the only thing that's going to be similar is that we're all in white, but
Yes.
you're getting served and you're walking into this magical scenery because I'm going to have the whole outdoor decorated.
Mm.
I'll have things hanging from the trees and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm
And
really, really excited about it.
you're very experienced. Have you, I don't know if you have any plans to work with our Indigenous people and to give people an
Oh,
experience mingling with that?
absolutely. I mean, I'm open to work with everybody.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So right now, as I go, I'm putting my ideas pen to
Hmm.
paper. And then, as you know, when we're networking, I'm like, oh, so now
Yes,
another idea coming.
exactly.
Oh, well, now I meet you. So now this is coming through. So each person I meet and shows an interest, it creates different ideas flowing into my mind. And I just love to coming up with concept and ideas. And now it's
Mhm.
just to make it all happen. So as many different types of events that I'll be able to do, I
Yeah, I mean,
have the
for
limit.
people who come from afar, for them to come in and have an indigenous experience, a meal, the dance, somebody talking about the culture,
Yes,
I mean, they're them going away with a history of Canada and an
absolutely.
experience that they wouldn't have anywhere else. And you're working with them to create that kind of space. I can see that being
Because
extremely popular.
because of being part of the Skull Club,
Yeah.
I have quite a lot of people that I know
Hmm.
within that area. And this one special woman, she's absolutely amazing. Her and her family, this is what they do. They do walks and they take
Hmm.
you out and
Hmm.
they school you. So they've been doing really, really well. Even during the pandemic,
Hmm.
they had to pivot and they didn't know how they were going to make it happen. That's their only income revenue. And they did it online and it worked. People
Yes.
still would join and do the walks with them online. So I could see myself doing something with them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The feast at the end of the walk.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, that's the thing is like there's so many ideas, and that when people get to know what it is you're doing and that you're flexible and you can pivot and you can incorporate and
Yes.
adapt and adopt, then it all sorts of things. Like, I want to work with you. Have you thought about
Exactly.
this? Have you thought about that? And that's the whole thing. And, you're taking your, years and years of experience of pampering people.
Yes.
Really, that's what you've been doing, of
Yes.
how to bring that pamper to an outdoors, which is your passion,
Yes.
right? And to bring an experience that becomes a wonderful memory that all they have to do is just go and enjoy and
That's it.
participate in. All right. And, but people don't always think of like outdoors as luxury. Well, as I said, I cannot, I'm afraid I can't sit down on the ground. I can't get up. I have problems. I can't get up.
Yeah.
I want to be in a comfortable seat.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe like to have a cozy blanket over me if that's the case, right? But
Yes.
I enjoy watching everything going on. It doesn't mean everybody's going to be running around. And I think this is the thing, catering for everybody. I mean, here on the island, we have a really big vegan community, which is
Yes.
wonderful. And that, and making like that there's something for everybody. Somebody came, well, I have a gluten problem. No problem. I'm vegan. No
Exactly.
problem. Because you've got the people around there that can serve you on that, which is wonderful.
Yes. And that's the whole point is to find
Yes,
those local people who
yes,
provide those services.
yes.
And that's what makes it special.
Definitely. Got
Yes.
to talk to Graham about that. His wife makes beautiful
I know
cupcakes.
we spoke already, and they're definitely interested.
Oh,
Yes.
most certainly, yes, because
Yes.
I did a show with Graham on Graham Connolly, for those who are listening, on actually how to adapt into vegan food, how what to have in your larder, how to use it, because for so many people, things are intimidating if you don't know how to use it or what to
Yes.
use. But when you know, oh, this is how I use this, or I switch this over, I switch that over, then it becomes more experimental. And
Yeah.
then it becomes part of your life. And I think that's what people need to understand is we've got to get to be a little bit more adventurous. I think we've become a little, kind of COVID did that. We kind of feared people, we haven't kind of got that adventurism back. And I think let's be a little more exploratory, do something out of your comfort zone. But the
Yes.
beauty of what you're doing is like, but you don't have to be uncomfortable doing it.
Exactly. You're going to be very comfortable doing
And
it.
if you want to sit down on the floor, she's got cushions for you.
Yeah.
So there's something there for everybody. But
Absolutely.
we do have a lot of retirement people over here. They want to still go out and have this experience, but they may not have to say no because I know I'm just not going to be able to do it, or it's going to be uncomfortable or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you set something up for them,
Yes.
that is comfortable. They're going to want that experience, but at the
Yes.
same time, you've taken care of them. So they're not going to feel, I don't want to put somebody out. I don't want to be awkward,
Yeah.
right? And it stops people from going places when they says, don't worry, we've got you covered. What do you need? All right.
Yes,
And it's like you can participate with feeling that you're not putting somebody out.
exactly. Because for the elderly like this, people that are, limited, I have more of these fancy upscale like tea time, the high tea.
Yes,
That's
yes.
something they enjoy and they get
I
to
love a high
talk and
tea.
participate.
Yes.
I know I love high tea. And I have everything to provide that, to
Mm,
make them in a beautiful setting instead of
yes.
just going into, you know, the the kitchen or
Yeah.
it's just something boring or the corner coffee shop or
Yeah.
give them a beautiful experience to enjoy, spend time together, beautiful visuals.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, Bushrock Garden does a wonderful high tea. They're vegan and regular, but it's yes, it's all very nice, but you've got to go over there. You've got to pay the entrance fee. You've got to pay this, you've got to pay
Yes.
that, and it kind of add up. Yeah, beautiful setting, but that's not where everybody wants to be. As I
Yeah.
said, like Qualicum and Parksville, etc., even Victoria, but even more so there, a great retirement community. And there's a lot to celebrate. Somebody's just had their 40th or their 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things. And a lot of the time, they don't think about somebody else doing it for them because they've always done it for themselves. But if they know that this is there, the kids can say, "Don't worry, I've got it." Well, what are you going to do? Don't worry, I've got it. And Anastasia, can you do it for me?
Exactly.
Can I take the credit?
I want it. Take all the credit.
And make it something special, because we are a generation that we remember certain things that we really loved growing up, or
Yeah.
certain lifestyles we loved that aren't done anymore. So if you can take us back in time, to that high tea where we're all sitting around having a great tea, or something else that kind of comes out of our past. It's a wonderful reminder of a journey in a place that we've been in time,
Yes.
because things have kind of got a little more clinical and fast, and we're looking for that setting. So there's such a huge market for you here. There really is.
Yeah, there is. Yes. And I look forward to come up with as many experiences as possible to offer people.
Yeah.
I, the business is growing every day. My ideas are flowing, and I just cannot wait to just showcase the website. The website's almost ready.
Mhm.
I just need to hurry up a little bit.
Do you
Uh,
have a URL for the website right now? So it's not there yet, but what it will
um,
be?
I do, but I won't give it to you today because now I decided maybe I'm going to tweak the business name a little bit. So I'm
Okay.
waiting on the results, and the government, they are not working right now.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta wait. I am supposed to have an answer by October 30th.
Uh-huh.
So I'll see. And if so, then I'll just keep it the way it is. It's just a minor tweak, but we'll see. So
Anything to do with government, you're gonna have to wait.
I
Yes.
know that's it. That's why I'm like, oh, it couldn't just be
Hurry
right
up and
now.
wait. Yes.
Yes. Because I have Andrew from Bookside, the oh my God, I can't even speak anymore. Beatside Bookkeeping. He's
Mhm.
the one who does my website. So we do it together, and it's pretty much ready. I just need to put certain pictures in different
Mhm.
places. And once I have my events all planned out and knowing who my collabs are,
Yes.
then I could put everything in because there'll be a
Mm.
calendar. You could just go directly on the calendar, see what events are coming up. And then if you want to choose and book your picnic, you'll be able to do through the calendar. So it's going to be very, very easy to navigate. I'll have a map where you can look and
Mm.
see where you want to go. So I'm making it as easy as possible for people to be able to navigate and use. It's just that I'm very particular, very picky. So I want each picture, I want you to have a good visual
Mhm.
and know what you're getting into when you're looking for. So I want all of my items to be all photographed. So you
Yeah.
can get to choose your own picnic if you like.
And people are visual people. I mean, you can
Yes.
describe it when you show them a picture, then they can actualize it. And you can say, okay, we can change this and change that, but this is, the general thing, and it gives them a better idea, you know.
Yes.
Well, instead of saying, what do you want? Well, I don't know, what have I got to go by? Right now I've got a picture. Well, I really like that picture, but I like this and that one, and there is
That's
something
right.
to talk about now because you've got an understanding of what they're talking about.
Exactly. And from the website, I'll have also all the different people that I'm collaborating with. So that way you can go and click on their link to their site
Yeah.
if you want to go purchase their food or their
Hmm.
services or, So this is what I'm working on. So that's why it's really important for me to have the people who I'll be collaborating with. That way,
And there'll be more collaborations as you go along that you will be adding along the
absolutely.
way, but you want your
Yes,
baseline, right?
I
And
do. Yes.
as you said, you can still do things right now in 2025, right? But you've got
Yes.
these big events in 2026, and once the site goes up, you'll start taking bookings for 2026 anyway, right? Because
Well,
obviously
I'm already taking bookings.
mm, right,
Yes.
yeah.
Believe it or not.
Well, especially if it's a special event and it's
Exactly.
on a particular date, you want to make sure you secure your date. So, that's really, really important. If you feel, that would be a really nice idea. The other thing, I've got people coming from another country.
Mhm.
What a wonderful way to give them a picnic in a wonderful
Yeah,
setting, something for them to go home with instead of just going to a local restaurant, which is nothing wrong with that. But,
of
the
course.
picnic is something that they will go home with and, well, that was really great. I never would have thought of it.
Yes,
And
it's
that's
a
what you
unique
want to have.
experience.
Yeah, and you're
The
sharing your
scenery,
passion for where you live, right?
yes, a scenery we see every day,
Yes,
but for them,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And and do you work only in Nanaimo or through the island?
I do all of Vancouver Island. That's what I'm planning on servicing.
Right. So of course Tofino is a very popular spot. So
Tofino.
like beach picnics. Ooh.
I love Tofino. Yes.
So kind of having a beach picnic there could be really, really cool.
That's where
Uh,
I had my daughter's first birthday at Crystal Cove. And I chose its cabin number 2, which is the first one in front of the ocean. And
mm,
then I have my blankets outside,
mm.
and I had her beautiful pink birthday cake made. And she was in her white little dress at 1 year old, walking in this,
Uh,
like with balloons. And oh, it was
yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah, we were there in June. My daughter with the two kids, my son-in-law. We stayed in Euclid, a place with a fantastic view, and then we would go to Tivino to the beach. And from the 4-year-old, it was
Oh,
still a little on the chilly. He didn't care.
oh
He
no.
was in and out of that water. And the little 2-year-old, well, of course, he was busy eating sand. So, and what was Nana? Nana was, when he fell asleep on my chest, I was there to kind of monitor him. That it was the first time I've been here 45 years, and it's the first time I finally got to Tofino and
Oh,
Eucalypt. But
wow.
and the drive is very windy there, but so beautiful.
Yes,
And it's like, the island is definitely, people say, oh, I'd love to come to Vancouver. I went there on a cruise, but I only stayed a day. I say, no, make this a destination.
it is a
Vancouver,
destination.
easily a week to do the things there, and then more than a week over here
Oh,
because
yeah,
there's so much to see and do, right?
absolutely. It's unbelievable. My mom and her friend went to Alaska a few months
Mm,
ago, and my mom lives in Vancouver, so her friend stayed there with her. And then they came down here. They only stayed, I think it was a day. And
mm.
I tried to bring them as many places as I could in a day. And then that's where her friend said, she's like, wow, okay, I need to come back next time. I need to
Yes,
stay at least a week on Vancouver Island. I'm like,
at
yeah,
least. Yes, yes, because there's so much to see. And you've got to, I always say to people, if you don't like green, don't come.
yes.
Because this is the greenest island you're going to come across with all our trees. But it's lakes and oceans and little towns and trees galore and hikes, and it's all about being at one with nature and
Yes,
being at one with yourself in nature. It's very, very laid back. But I mean, when you talk about island vibe, this has a vibe, the island. It's
yes,
very laid back. It's very, very soulful. It's very spiritual, and it's a place where you can come and you really truly feel. You
Yes.
really feel it. So to add a picnic on top of that, an event on top of that, it was just solidify that feeling and that memory for you to take away. And ultimately, when we get older, what do we have? Unless we have Alzheimer's and dementia, which I think is awfully
Memories.
cruel, we have memories. And those memories are just are so precious. Believe me, as we get older, I know
Yeah.
it is so, so precious. And it just marks the happy, people seek for perfection. There is no perfection, but there are perfect moments in time.
Hmm.
And those perfect moments in time when you have a wonderful experience that warms your heart and your soul, right?
Yes.
And the more that you can have those kind of experiences, the more they sit with you and they fit as a glow and they just make you smile. All you have to do is think of them.
Exactly.
So let somebody else do the work. Let somebody else set the stage. Let somebody else fuss around with everything. Can you just turn up with your friends, your family, and enjoy?
Yes, and I'm happy to take it all in because this is what I love to do and
Mhm.
make people happy. So,
And this is what I do here on Self Discovery Wisdom is I interview people who love what they're doing,
yeah.
because why do it otherwise?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. If you love what you're doing, you're really putting your heart and soul into it. People aren't just enjoying what you're doing, but they can feel what you're doing. The
Yes.
flavor there is in there, and
Yes.
it's heartfelt, and they feel it, and it becomes such a better experience. So when people really do find that calling, I love what I do, I love why I do it, I love whom I do it for, it
Yes.
changes everything. Because it isn't just about here's a chair, here's a this, here's a that, right? It is about here is your setting.
Yes.
Now bring your good vibrations and enjoy.
Absolutely.
So right now, of course, you don't have a site,
No,
but
not yet.
people can reach out to you on LinkedIn. So it's Anastasia Shade. I'm going to spell that out for people who are listening. So Anastasia Shade. So Anastasia Shade. And on Instagrams, it's Cedar and Silk Picnics, right? Silk picnics, that's what makes it fancy. And of course, they can also go to LinkedIn to Cedar and Silk Picnics as well. And you can reach out to her there and have a conversation. But she also has a free gift offer of 20% off your picnic of choice. How many people does this go out to, Hen? The first, how many?
It could go to the first, let's say 20. 20 for
Wow,
20.
that's very generous.
Yep.
Okay, so 20% off. That's quite a bit. But remember, folks, you may say, I'll think about it next year. Next year, she's going to be pretty well booked. So if this is a good time for you to go, yes, I'd love to take advantage of that. What event do I really want to do it for? Put your thinking cap on, reach out to her and say, I don't know if I want to do it for this or I want to do it for that or what can be done. And after a conversation with her, you'll go, okay, I want to do that, right? Because you can tell them exactly what you're going to do for them, and that can help them make up their mind
Yeah,
of what event they
absolutely.
want to do it for. Because, I want to do it, but I'm not quite sure. And so you're sure. You can help them solidify that idea.
Absolutely, I can. Yes.
So I love it when people really love what they're doing. Remember LinkedIn, Cedar and Silk Picnics. So Anastasia Shade on Instagram, Cedar and Silk Picnics. Um, and if you want to reach out to her at LinkedIn for that 20% off the first 20 people, so take advantage of that. But when people truly love what they're doing, we feel it. It changes the way things are done. It changes the way you receive it, and it changes your whole experience with it. I want to see people get out there more and create memories,
Yes.
create good vibrations. And yes, we can do it ourselves. I've been there, I've done it, but I didn't get to enjoy the event because I was busy doing the event. All
Exactly.
right. So, you've got a wife. Well, my wife can do it. Well, why should she? Why should she? How about you set up an event that
Yeah.
she doesn't have to do anything? Right? And you can choose your luxury package, pillows on the floor or the comfy seats, whatever the case is. She'll customize it to what you desire because she knows how to please you and make you really enjoy the luxury of it. So thank you so much for sharing with us here, Anastasia.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. I'm so happy.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So, yes, this is a great excuse to come to Vancouver Island, folks. It
Ooh.
really is a very beautiful place. Come with time on your hands, ready to explore and have an experience, and set up a picnic wherever on the island to enjoy, make that experience even more so. So, until next time, folks, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.